Hello and welcome once again to our Romantic Renewal course, the start of our second module of the workshops. And Sean Donovan here with you and Mahesh Trivedi joining me again today. And just a reminder to click the subscribe button and the bell button to be reminded when the new lessons become available. So this lesson, don't count on mind reading. In our last module, we examined challenges with merging two different personalities into the same household. In this module, we'll discover attributes which can impact good communication. Your communication styles began before you met each other. It began with how you grew up. You also have different personality characteristics which affect your communication with each other. This lesson and the next lesson lay the foundation for healthy communication practices. To integrate the information in this module, begin practicing what you learn as soon as possible. So, Mahesh, tell me, are you a mind reader?
So it's a fundamental, like a people think themselves in a relationship. So believe that you know what your partner is thinking and feeling. You could be actually setting yourself for some challenges because that is you are using your mind to to perceive all the things. So you might be right some of the time, but let's look at what can happen if you make assumptions about your partner that are incorrect. So that is where the trouble starts. So making assumptions about another's thoughts and feelings has consequences you might not be aware of. So number one, in a relationship, it's like a privacy is invaded. Remember the private area of the Johari window, which we just gone through in the last lesson. So that area is special or sacred to each person. So it is up to the individual to share the privacy, the private part of themselves. When others assume that know that private area, then the first individual can feel violated. Number two, when people assume that they know what another is thinking or feeling, they are implying they have power over that person. Like the secret is known. So rarely do people feel comfortable when others know something that they are not ready to share. They always become guarded and defensive if they are feeling read by another. Read by another means like what you asked the question, mind reader.
Mm.
Are you a mind reader? That is just a assumption.
And it might not be right as well.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, you are right, Sean. When third one, when someone makes assumptions, they already have a fixed idea about the situation. So it can be difficult to move away from the initial assumption and color the rest of the conversation. So making assumptions can shut down the communication before it begins, and this can damage your relationship.
Hmm. So that question of you might be right or you might be wrong.
Yeah.
And certainly there are people who are more intuitive than others, and they have an
Yes.
ability to read the subtle shifts in body language. Some People say they can feel the emotions of others, and they may be right.
Yeah.
The longer you know your partner, the more you'll learn about them. You'll be able to know when they're not themselves, when something seems off.
Yes.
You may even know how they act when there are challenges at work or with the parents or with the bowling team. And when you know something is off, ask how the day went. You might even ask if they're okay. If they choose not to tell you, avoid taking offense. Just give them time. It's not all about you. So communication is an exchange between two people. Because honest communication is important, keep in mind that you are two different people. Even if you're concerned about your partner, there are times you need to give them space. Yes, you might be worried that you've done something or that their mood is about you. That's an uncomfortable situation for you. Still, give them some space. So, Mahesh,
Hmm.
what might be some reasons for not insisting that someone talk before they're ready?
So, Sean, there are several reasons like that one should not insist that their partner talk before they are ready because um, so there are number one is some people take more time to share what is happening in their life at present. They're being reluctant to immediately share may have nothing to do with you. So, like another partner. So, there are two types of thinkers. So, the introverted thinkers and extroverted thinkers. So, so thinking is the first thing. Like we always say, thoughts become things. So, introverted thinkers take time to mull over. They want to be sure they understand what is happening within them before sharing. On the other hand, extroverted thinkers, they have a tendency to process their feeling out loud. Extroverted thinkers often have a difficult time understanding introverted thinkers. The second reason is family of origin, the family you came from. So communication patterns have programmed you to communicate in a particular ways. So your families may have two opposing styles of communicating. So let's see what are they. So the person who came from a family who did not share what was happening in their lives often finds it difficult to share with their partner. And in some families, members are punished or made fun of for certain things they share. So if you or your partner grew up where it was not safe to share, you will find it difficult to share with each other. And when you or your partner have difficulty sharing, the one who finds it easier to share will need to be more patient as the other learns that it is okay to share. The next one is one of you may not think sharing is important. Like this could be a reason that this can create challenges, especially if sharing is important to one member and not the other. So Some people want to know everything about their partner and feel hurt if their partner does not share, while others want to reserve part of themselves just for them and don't share as much because everyone is different. As neuroscientists learn more about the brain, they have discovered that some people don't notice social cues, such as someone being upset, due to how the brain and its chemicals are working. The person who is more adept at communication needs to be patient, while the one who is not as adept at communications learns how to share.
Yes, it's a very complicated area. It's all about you, but then again, communication is all about you.
Yes.
You can't control the communication patterns of your partner, but you can control your own communication style, and you can also control how you respond to your partner. How you respond to challenging situations can make things easier or more difficult between the two of you. So to summarize what we've covered today, in this lesson we explored how the ability to communicate with each other is influenced by your family, being an introverted or extroverted thinker, and the brain and its chemicals. We also learned that the one who wants more sharing and finds it easier to communicate is the one who needs to be more patient. In the next lesson, we're going to lay another level to the foundation before we begin on specific strategies for communication. But before you move on to that lesson, take some time to reflect on what we've talked about today. So once again, click that subscribe button and the bell button to be notified when the next lessons become available, and we'll see you then.